Hey guys, it's Dom, and welcome to a video that I meant to post a while ago. Hello everyone, if you're new to my channel, I make bookish content, travel videos, along with miscellaneous collection videos, and today's video is going to be bookish because we're going to talk about my 2019 reading stats. This video, I wanted posted by January 3rd the latest. It is currently January 7th that I'm filming this, because work was hectic. So I had a seasonal position, and everyone who was seasonal just had their last day this past week. It was very heartfelt leaving, because the reason I left is because I do have that Disney college program lined up, so that's why I had to leave. But my boss told me that she would have kept me if I wasn't going, so that was very heartfelt. But yeah, work was kicking my ass. I haven't even been reading. Like, all these people are like, oh, I've read 5 books in 2020 so far. I'm not even 70 pages into my first book. It's been wild. I was too busy watching videos, reviews about cats mostly, and finishing up on The Mandalorian. I finished it. Episode 8, I was having emotions over a droid, so that's where my life is at right now. But like I said, we're going to talk about my reading stats. I have my paper of notes right here on this video. In the past, I've included all the books I've read as part of my stats, but I've already made a separate video for that, so the link will be up above. So we're going to talk about some other things. So hopefully you've seen that video so you have an idea of what I've read, and we're just going to jump right into it. I have to be careful not to spill this coffee because I have it sitting on carpet. So the first thing we're going to jump right into is my star ratings. I had a lot more 5-star reads this year than I thought I did, but that's also because I reread a lot of books, and some of them were children's books, because my reading goal for this year as in 2019, was 50 books, and near the end there I wasn't going to reach it, so I just read a bunch of children's books. We're going for it. So I will get started. Out of all 50 books, 14 were 5-star reads, which I was kind of shocked about because I thought this year was a meh reading year, but apparently not. I had 2 4.75, 5 4.5 star reads, 9 4-star, 2 3.75, 1 3.5, 9 3-star books, 1 2.75, 2 2.5 star books, 2 2-star books, and 2 1-star books. Therefore, my average rating was 3.795. We're also going to talk about the pages read. So I will say the total amount of pages I read this year was 12,925. So the longest book I read was this guy, The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. This was 1,276 pages. This is the third longest book I've ever read. The longest book I've ever read was Les Miserables at 1,400 pages. Then I read War and Peace, which is it's less than 100 pages more than this. This was 2019's big book of the year, because if you don't know, I'm trying to read a big book every year. Don't know what next year's yet. Then the shortest book I read was Carl's Christmas by Alexandra Day. This was 28 pages long. So therefore, my average page count was 258.5 pages, and my average pages a day was 35.41. So one statistic that Goodreads shares every year is the most popular rated book you've read. Does that make sense? Like the most read book by other people is what I guess I'm trying to say, and then the least popular. So I wrote those down. I took note of that. My most popular book was Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. I don't know how she pronounces her last name. And that has 1,169,297 votes. That's a fucking lot. Then my least popular was Principles of Archaeology by an author whose name I don't remember. This was a textbook I had to read for a class. This only has 2 votes, and I'm pretty sure one of the 2 was mine. And it also shows your highest rated book, and I guess I could pull this out. Ah! Another book came with it. Okay. But it shows your highest rated book, and my highest rated book this year was a reread at an average of 4.52 stars out of 5. It was A Nightmare Before Christmas by Tim Burton. Okay, we're gonna put Jekyll and Hyde back in its spot. Some of these books I had to read for school. In the beginning of the year was my last semester of university. It's over, it's done, I'm glad. One of those classes was a Holocaust-based class, so we read a lot of Holocaust literature. So that's why a lot of the books I had to read for school are mostly Holocaust related. So I read 9 books for school. One of them was All By My Life by Gerda Weissman Klein, if I remember correctly. The next book is one I own, but I did not bring it with me. It's in another room. It's Ordinary Men by Christopher R. Browning. This book talks about the Nazi police, and it explores whether or not, like, perpetrators, whether you're like born a perpetrator or you become a perpetrator. I read This Way for the Gas, Ladies and Gentlemen by Tadeusz Borowski. My mom is half Polish, and she told me how to pronounce this, so I hope she's right. Ah! You're gonna go right there, Jack. The Mouse Duology by Art Spiegelman. Then there was Principles of Archaeology, and then the other one that I was supposed to read early for the Holocaust class, but then like never did, so I just finished it up on my Euro trip, was War and Genocide: A Concise History of the Holocaust by Doris L. Bergen, I think her name is. On my Kindle, so I don't really remember, but I hope I got that right. Then the last 2 books I read were for my History of Animation class. There's Of Mice and Magic by Leonard Maltin, and then there's Character Animation by Eric Goldberg, I think. Many of these books were rereads. I had quite the year of rereads this year. So the first 3 books of 2019 were the first 3 books in the Miss Peregrine series, because I really wanted to read A Map of Days, but I remembered next to nothing of what happened in Library of Souls. Hollow City I was iffy on. I remembered the most of the first one, but those other 2 I just didn't remember. Those books are on that shelf. I don't feel like getting them because they're heavy. Reread 14 books, so therefore the first book I reread was Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, then I reread Hollow City, then I reread Library of Souls, all by Ransom Riggs, and I did read A Map of Days after that. That's not a reread, so that does not count in this count. Then, like I said, I reread Mouse 1, My Father Bleeds History, and Mouse 2, and Here My Troubles Began. Then I reread The Boy in Striped Pajamas by John Boyne. I reread Beastly by Alex Finn because apparently nobody remembers it, so I made a reading vlog about it, and you can see that wherever the card thing goes up. Then during the Christmas time, I reread The Polar Express by Chris Van Allsburg, I think his name is. His name is not on this cover. And like I said, I reread The Nightmare Before Christmas by Tim Burton. Another book I reread is also on that shelf, but I forgot I was including it in this list, so I did not grab it, and I'm not going to grab it because I'm lazy, but it's The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane by Kate D. Camillo, and I did not remember this book being as emotional as it was, but I cried. And the last 4 books I read of 2019 were all rereads. To Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street by Dr. Seuss, Horror Hatches the Egg by Dr. Seuss, Walt Disney World 20 Years of Magic, or whatever it's called, by the Walt Disney Company, and then Carl's Christmas by Alexandra Day. I almost knocked down my drink. It really should not be on this carpeted floor. This year, 16 of my books were by non-American authors, and I will show you which is which. We have 1 book from Germany, which is The Thief Lord by Cornelia Funke. 1 book from Poland, which is This Way for the Gas, Ladies and Gentlemen by Tadeusz Borowski. 1 book from Japan, which is Silence by Shushaku Endo. 1 book from Canada, which is War and Genocide by Doris L. Bergen. 1 book from Australia, which is The Chemistry of Tears by Peter Carey. 1 book from Italy, which is If on a Winter's Night a Traveler by Italo Calvino. 1 book from Ireland, which is The Boy in Striped Pajamas by John Boyne. 4 books were from France. West Coast Blues by Jacques Tardy. The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. The Little Prince by an author whose name I did not look up how to pronounce, so I don't want to say it in fear of butchering it, which I will, because I cannot do a French accent to save my life. And then the last one is It Was the War of the Trenches by Jacques Tardy. And the last 5 novels of this list of 16 are British authors, all of which I'm pretty sure are from England. J.K. Rowling, I'm always confused about whether she's like English or Scottish, but the rest are for sure from England. But that answers the question. The first book is Crimes of Grindelwald by J.K. Rowling. Then the next one is Teaching My Mother How to Give Birth by Warsaw Shire. The Puppet Boy of Warsaw by Eva Weaver. Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. And lastly, A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. Some of these were not new to me countries just because I've already read books from those countries before. Japan was a new to me country. Silence is a great book, and I highly recommend it for everyone. I will talk about it later in another video. But yeah, next year I hope to continue the like non-American theme. Mostly I hope they're new to me countries. I hope that new to me countries phrase is making sense. I just hope to be able to cross off more countries off my list. That's the goal of 2020. Alright, and that's pretty much it for this video. It was chill. Fearing for my carpet here, knocking down my coffee at 11 p.m. I'm a bit frazzled because I'm trying to get all these videos out, and plus I don't know where my mind is right now. There's books all over my floor in my bed, so this is freaking me out. I was gonna film a few more videos tonight, but I don't think that's happening because I could see my battery is dying, and I really need to read my book. My current read right now is I'll Give You the Sun, so I need to prepare for some tears here. Let me know how your 2019 went when it came to reading. For a few goals of next year, 2020, I only set my reading goal to 30. I don't want to stress myself out too much, especially with the new Disney job and all that. And like I said, to read more non-American authors. I was going to say more, but I don't remember what I was going to say, and I probably won't remember until I turn the camera off and I start editing this video. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to peace out. Look forward to my best and worst reads, which I hope I film soon, and I will see you guys later. Ciao a tutti.